if I could breathe, I would inhale aromas of impartiality and integrity. I would salivate as they swirled in my nostrils and exhausted into an anticipation of pleasure for my tongue. My lungs would suck on whirlwinds of virtue and of fairness, becoming full with the powerful breeze of the richness of life. My chest would rise with the swelling of a chainless existence and the confidence that my bronzed coat of armor does not force me into a war I didn't ask to fight if I could breathe. I would exhale a draft that whistles harmonies of unity for my children. I would blow a chilling current that freezes out disgust for diversity. I would emanate a cyclone of cries of worth from all of God's children. I would produce an airstream that knocked hate back to hell. I would puff clouds of God's glory to swallow the actuality of oppression. I would heave out a flurry of my prayers, which swarm with my frustration, which swarm with my pain, which swarm with my desperation for a world where it's much easier to breathe. If I could breathe, if I could breathe, if I could breathe. But I can't breathe. Good evening, and thank you for being on live with me tonight. I am charisse, better known as unLYSHed, and I am just excited to dive into what I know will be a wonderful event. I have my sister here with me who is going to moderate and help keep the flow of conversation going. Rihanna Marie, would you join me?
Hey, sis.
Hi, guys.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. I mean, if you guys are excited, first off, let's just put some sunflowers in the comments right now.
I love it.
Like, let's get this energy going because this is a special moment.
This is a great day.
I mean, you are a great, great friend of mine, but I am truly a fan of this project, and I'm excited to be here, and I hope all of you all are excited as well.
I'm glad to have you.
Awesome. So, I mean, you ready to kick it off? You ready to get going?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
I mean, just to kind of set the stage, I'm just really curious. I'm sure a lot of people are curious just how you're feeling about everything. First book, launch, goes #1 on Amazon.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
But like, just can you talk us through some of these emotions that you're feeling right now?
Definitely. Just even getting to the completion of the project itself was humbling. I just felt so liberated. I actually finished my manuscript in December, but the other processes to, get the illustrator, get the formatting done, get it edited, oh my goodness. So we didn't even have a book to hold until May. So it was really eating me up to get it out because I just knew like that's something that God continued to say for me. I would pray about my position. I would pray about where he was taking me. His response was always write the book, finish the book. So once it was finally finished, I was eager to have it out. But, the people who poured into it, they helped it be a complete work. They helped it along. Now that we're sitting in it, oh my goodness, I'm just overwhelmed with I'm just overjoyed. I got chill bumps every time I sit up in the morning. I look around, I'm like, this is what my magic hour really feels like. Yeah. This is what blessings on blessings really feels like. To just know what you're called to do is empowering in itself. Yeah. I feel like every moment of my life has led to this. There have been, other times I felt like I was appointed to positions. God said yes to this, and I just felt like I was out of place. But now, with a pen in my hand, with purpose, just streaming, I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. I know I'm where he asked me to be, and it feels good. That's awesome. It feels amazing.
That's so exciting. I mean, overwhelmed, I definitely can understand. This is a really big project, and I think you mentioned how this was something new for you, like just it was kind of like a coming to your womanhood process with poetry. But can you tell everyone just a little bit more about that story and how you got started? Like, have you always saw yourself as an author and a poet, or like what really kicked off that passion?
Wow. No, I have not always seen myself as an author or a poet. That was all something that came about actually the year that I wrote the book. Okay. But I started writing poetry like for real, my senior year of college. And I attended the Clark Atlanta University, graduated class of 2017. Check, check. All right, but no, I was starting to write because when we deal with trauma, when we deal with, you know, just things that bring us pain, there has to be an addressing of that pain at some point, in some kind of way. Some people go to therapy, some people, you know, they pick up different trades.
Yeah.
It was killing me on the inside, not getting out what was going on inside.
Yeah.
I needed to externalize what was just the storm that was happening inside of me. And so I didn't feel brave enough though to just be speaking on it plainly. So I covered it up in poetry. And I wrote my first poem, like I said, my senior year. And I read it to my shooter, Jamie. I said, what you think about this? Girl, that's good. So I mean, but I was telling pieces of my story. I was talking about the parts of me that struggled the most. I was talking about the pain that I felt the most. I really didn't even know how to get over it. Yeah. And so I just kind of started writing those experiences down. And I had, before I knew it, like a little collection. And then I presented that to Clark Atlanta. I was like, oh, I'm on my way now. I am on my way. But no, that was the beginning. I just really just wanted some healing. I just wanted some peace. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah. And it ended up becoming my means, my escape, my way to heal. But it was really just to release at first. And now all of a sudden we have a whole book. It's nobody would die.
But yeah, no, I really appreciate that point though, because I think so many people right now are trying to figure out ways of dealing with trauma and trying to start that healing process, and you don't know where to start. But I think kind of tapping into your passions and finding things that you love where you can express yourself, like not only is that a healing process, but it ended up being a business for you, which is obviously amazing. But with the Sunflower Project specifically, how did this project come about? Were you writing some of these poems while you were in college? Like, when did you really kick off this idea of the Sunflower Project?
Well, the sunflower itself became like a symbol for me the year that I graduated. Okay. I had gone back home. I'm from Vidalia. Shout out to my family in the V, who I know is tuned in. But and I mean my blood family and y'all know. All right. But so me and my children were trying to create vision boards. We were just in this, you know, we're gonna be intentional about setting our goals and like just being honest with God about what we want, and then reminding ourselves what we want. Y'all know what the vision board is for. So we go to Walmart, we pick stuff out, and I'm like, look at that sunflower. That's so pretty. It's so bright and it's so, I just feel so strong and open when I'm looking at it. And it was just like this simple thing that I wanted to pin to my board, and I wanted to pair it to a feeling. Like this is something I want to feel all the time. I want to feel open and free, and that was it. And that's, like I said, 2017. But it was later where my cousin introduced me to a modern day spoken word artist, and I ordered her book, and I read the book, and I was inspired by the book, and I said, well, I can do this. And I've had people tell me, you know, write your story, speak your truth, because I like to speak, I like to get it, I like to say some stuff now, but you know, tell your story, write your truth. And I said, I've never thought about writing my story in poetry, and that's one of the things about the Sunflower Project. It is a story of poems. Like some people, you know, think it's like just a collective work. Like each poem is a complete work, yes, but it's telling a story. So I won't even say at that point, God helped me to structure it. He gave me, by personifying, it took some, what I think are some strong ideals that we need to kind of just be aware of and embrace in life, and personify them with the sunflower. Yeah. The petals, how they grow on top of each other. I love that part. Yeah. But the deeper that you get toward the core, the more that the petals form. Made me think about self-discovery. The more that I sit with myself, the more that I dig up, you know, this, what was produced as a result of this or this. I'm gonna keep finding things in myself that need my attention. They need my love. They need to be stroked. Like those petals need me. Yeah. So, okay, boom, self-discovery, the relevance of that. the stem. The sunflower stem is so thick, like, but again, that made me think about resiliency. Okay, like, it's really like, it is fuzzy and it's like, I'm like, okay, stem, backbone, spine, okay, strength, resiliency. Then the greatest part is the fact that the sunflower is built with this tracking feature. So, meaning even whenever it grows up from the ground, even if it is facing the opposite direction, whenever the sun comes up, it turns its face to the sun. It's like whenever I am not facing God, not looking at God, if I am angry and I'm intentionally trying to put him down, if I'm just lost in my own world, and I am not paying him any attention, I'm just kind of maneuvering. There is something in me, the him that is in me is fighting for me. He's fighting for me, and he is turning me right back toward him. No matter how far away I get, there is he that is in me who is bringing me back to him, who is turning me back to him, and that just reminds me of grace. The unmerited favor. Why me? But you love me like that you would give me this piece of you that is going to continue to fight for you even whenever I'm choosing not to. And a lot of pieces of my story, they talk about that part, like, just whenever I put my faith down, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know. I mean, I'm hurting so bad. I don't know where God is. I can't feel him. I can't hear him. I don't know what's going on. But that feature kept turning me back to the sun. So it was definitely a God thing that the sunflower, which I just thought was beautiful initially, helped create this story, the sowing, the withering, the budding, and then the unLYSHing, which is the best part. It is. Which is the best part.
Oh no, that's again amazing. Before we move on, I am getting some messages saying that you can't see you because of the comments, so we're gonna have to switch seats because I need the people to see you.
Thank y'all for being patient with us.
We don't want a Teddy Riley situation. We want to make sure that we can. Yeah, we're good. Thank you everyone for your patience. But you mentioned how this project was kind of just a telling of healing, of love, of spirituality. I think right now those components are such an important time with what's going on. And I mean, I can speak for myself that sometimes it's hard to remember to see love, to see faith, to be joyful in the midst of just tragedy. And I know when we've had conversations, you talk about the Sunflower Project being your story, but how it also can echo stories beyond. Right. So I guess I'm asking, do you have any tips, suggestions for how you've been able to kind of keep hold of those components of what makes you alyssia, what kind of embodies the sunflower, even in the midst of trials and tribulations and all the things that people are kind of going through right now?
Right. I would say that one of the first things is that we have to allow ourselves to be human. We are all feeling pain. Like we're feeling just the threat of uncertainty. I mean, if you choose to look at it as a threat, which in the beginning I did. The loss of security. We talking about a pandemic. Have you ever seen a pandemic?
No, girl.
Have you seen one coming?
Nope.
Have you ever seen a virus like corona?
Never.
All right. But I mean, we're talking about things we've never seen before.
Yeah.
And then even with the Black Lives Matter movement, which is so, oh my goodness, it's hard to even put into words. It really gives me teary-eyed to think about what's happening right now. And just, I mean, I could be honest and say there's a bit of optimism around the movement. But even still, this is something we haven't seen before. It's like a gift that I don't even really know how to hold. So emotions are swirling. Let's be real about it. That's the first bit of advice that I would say. Be honest with yourself about whatever it is you're feeling. Sit with yourself with whatever it is that you're feeling. That's first. For those of us who feel in pain and abandonment around whatever, because that's kind of where I was in the beginning of the pandemic. I do not know what's going on. I thought me and God had a plan. I don't know, like, where are you? You know, and then there's so many people getting sick, so many people that are passing away. So, like, the world itself is just kind of scary. Like, what's going on? You know? But God is with us right in the midst of our pain. So let's start with being honest. Let's have them real conversations with God. God, I'm hurting. And I don't know where you are. I can't feel you. I'm sad. I don't know where you are. I'm grieving. I don't know where you are. You know what I'm saying? Let's say that. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's say that to God, and then let's be real about who He is. He's sitting with us right in the midst of our pain. The unLYSHing was written about how I'm coming out of this, out of the summer, out of the winter. I've just kind of become, you know, getting into that golden hour. But it communicates that all the while I felt hurt and I felt lost. God was right there. As a matter of fact, I feel closest to Him, or more close to Him, when I feel pain now. Because I know how to talk to Him. I know He wants me to be real with Him. He don't want me to sugarcoat anything talking to Him. No, you can't hide from me anyway. I want you to tell me exactly what you feel. Give me a real prayer. Don't give me a safe prayer. You know what I'm saying? But whenever I go back now and I can look at that season, oh God, that was you. I was so mixed up in me. I was so upset. I was missing this. I was missing this. I was missing you were right there. You were right there. And I think that's the best advice. Let yourself feel. Tell God all about it. And then acknowledge the fact, even when you can't feel Him. He's right. He's right there. He's still God. He's still sitting on the throne. And at the end of the day, it will all be all right. It will all be all right. It's going to work according to His plan. And that's just what we have to have faith. But
I mean, but even from a business standpoint, I can only imagine how hard it is to kind of, you know, be a creative and want to put out this project, but you feel like first it's a pandemic, a health pandemic, then it's a racial pandemic, and then it's just like all these things going on. So for someone who's like you, or someone who's a creative, someone who wants to start a business, whatever their talent may be, what are ways that they can kind of keep pushing through? Or can you explain how you were able to push through and kind of see at the end of the rainbow, there's going to be a sunflower project and I have to get it out. I cannot give up because of what's going on in my world. I can't give up because of the certain circumstances I'm going through. Like, how are you able to really keep your eye kind of on that prize?
Well, we got to go. For me, I had to go into my closet. I just got to get quiet. I got to get still. Not to shut out the things that are going on, but to shut out the things that are going on. To get this book published, there were steps. I knew what they were. I went through the self-publishing course, and I want to shout out everybody who had a hand that I can, you know, in the end, when we get to the end, I got it on my heart. But there was a system. Like, I knew what needed to be done. So I got that written down, and whenever I got to, you know, mixed up in what the world had going, I need to look at my steps. I know what I need to do to get this done. So let me give myself some grace, because it doesn't mean I don't care about people. It doesn't mean I don't care about what's going on. I'm having to deal with, you know, what's going on in my own way. And then on top of that, there is a mission that I have to complete. You know, think about, I mean, I want about leaders of the civil rights movement. You know what I mean? You still have this mission, even though you're sitting here, you're walking in, you out here every day. You got this mission that you have to complete. You got to give yourself some time. Like, I just have to shut the door, get to my focus spot, and then say, okay, what's the next right thing? What's the next step that I need to do? And then, next thing you know, we got a book.
A #1 book on Amazon. No, but I think I commend you, because I can only imagine, like I said, how hard it is to stay faithful to a project when there's so much going on. And I mean, again, I know you personally, so I know you had such a strong support system. And you even mentioned in your books, in your poems, so often the role of your family, of your mom, your dad, your brothers. I just really want you to talk to that point a little bit more, because I know they're so special to you, and I want everyone else to know like their role in this project as well, their role in your process.
Oh my goodness. So, okay, I'll say this first. The Sunflower Project is a love story. I don't want to give it just that, but that's one facet of it. It's talking about my love story with God, my love story with love, my love story with myself. But aside from God giving me love, the first embodiment of love came from my family.
Yeah.
And I can get emotional, but I mean, I reference my mom, my grandma's relationship. I reference my relationship with my dad. I have 3 brothers, one big brother, one younger brother, one baby brother. I have so many cousins. I mean, and then on my dad's side, I have those grandparents, aunts, more cousins, but we literally wrap each other up in affection.
Yeah.
Always. I think that they taught me, they showed me what love was. I know they did.
Yeah.
They created certain things in me. There's one point I'm talking about my brothers. They are the reason for the protector in me. Because who am I without them?
Yeah.
If something was to happen to them, you get what I'm saying? And when we think about, I think love, I believe that love is the greatest gift that we have on earth. It's the greatest gift that we have on earth. And I don't feel like if I'm not showing them that, or if I'm not, addressing that, then I'm not doing it justice. I'm cheating the greatest gift. If I'm not showing love to them, I'm cheating the greatest gift.
Yeah.
And they literally, they my rock. I also talk about them in the buddy. How when I graduated college, I was ready to just disappear. Honestly, I had taken a job in another state. I didn't want to hear nothing about having to stay home. No. And we really had a family meeting. What is your plan? My parents asking me what do you think you're about to do? And I'm like, I'm moving. I don't know, But I just was coming out of what was the withering.
Yeah.
It was the season where I was losing myself.
Yeah.
And it was not time for me to be going out venturing in other places. And it was like I'm literally running with all my might away from home, away from them. Not them specifically, but they're at home. They are my home. You know what I'm saying? So whereas my goal was to keep turning my face, the sun turned me right back to home. Yeah. And they caught me and they cushioned me and they loved me. Yeah. Back to health. Yeah. They loved me back to my senses. I think about God being love. And how you bless the Institute family, what it was meant to do. They got me back to myself. Yeah. Love got me back to myself. Care got me back to myself. I could never thank them enough. I think about my cousins even now. My little girl cousins, about some of them getting ready to go to college. Some of them going into junior year of high school. I'm like, oh my God, y'all getting so big. But y'all are becoming women. Yeah. And whenever I get weak, I know they need a constant reminder, of their worth and love. I love them too much to keep slipping, to keep backsliding. Yeah. And they love me too much to see me as blemished or anything. Yeah. But I want to be good for them because I love them. I want to teach them because I love them. Yeah. I want to be okay. Yeah. And I want them to be okay. Yeah. Because I love them. Yeah. And the same as them, they love me. Yeah. I know they love me. Yeah. They definitely helped walk me to the unLYSHed. They were there at the beginning. They were there through it all.
Yeah.
They're with me right now.
Yeah, I can definitely resonate with that, with having people in your life who you care for and love so much that kind of becomes motivation for all of your own goals. So definitely understand that. But something else I'm kind of just curious about, was there, outside of family and kind of your community, was there another pivotal moment in your life maybe that you think really contributed to what became of the Sunflower Project?
Definitely. Again, I say that the Sunflower Project is a love story.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love.
Mm-hmm.
Very young. Very pure. It was just honest. I mean, it was what was I was 15
Mm-hmm.
when I met this person. I just kind of OD'd on this romantic love.
Yeah.
That was something new for me. But I've been surrounded by monogamy my
Mm-hmm.
entire life. My parents have been married for 25 years. They got married as babies now, 19 and 21. All of my uncles, my dad's sisters, my grandparents. My dad's parents have been married almost 60 years.
Oh, wow.
Almost 60
Oh,
years.
no.
My grandparents on my mom's side, they are pushing up to 50. So I think grandma. But that's, I mean, like I said, surrounded by monogamy,
Yeah.
surrounded by relationships,
Beautiful.
people who are not afraid of commitment,
Yeah.
show up to the challenge every
Mm-hmm.
day. They make it look easy.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody had anything on, I ain't know. But anyway, I think it kind of conditioned my idea about what love is and what romantic love is. It kind of made me feel like there was a right way to do it. I don't think that there's not, but from where I was at 15, probably was different.
I mean, you're young.
Yeah.
We've all been young before.
Right. But I think that when we're babies and we try to get something or try to hold something that is so, I don't want to call it volatile, but love is, I mean, romantic love that young. Now that I'm 25, I could probably say this, but I didn't want to hear it 10 years ago. But we try to hold on to something like that. You don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
Then you can get out of hand. And what happened was in essence, just day by day, gave up pieces of my identity to this person.
Yeah.
And it was a dangerous time for me. I mean, but it was the beginning of me losing myself. Because
Yeah.
I mishandled this love, and then he was young too. So as he is, moving in his, or trying to grow through his own,
Yeah.
and I'm going up to, I mean, we fumbling, trying to hold on to each other, and just making an ultimate mess, and
Yeah.
it became the kind of messy where we're getting damaged.
Yeah.
Like, he's off in his own. I felt like I was catching so much negativity, just things that made me see myself as unworthy. And that's a major, when we start talking about worth, we start looking at people as if people give you your worth. And then you don't think, and people aren't treating you like you want to be treated. People not treating you with love. Okay, I must not matter.
Yeah.
Okay, I must not mean as much as I thought I meant.
Yeah.
Okay, I must need to change this about me in order to be acceptable. I must need to give up this part of myself so that this person can say yes, you're perfect. And that was at 15, 16 at this point was my new way of thinking.
Yeah.
And I found myself, now that I can look back, and I still struggle now. I mean, I'm not saying I've arrived. I got a great blueprint. God has given me this great vision, and He has, the unleashed self. My unleashed self is powerful, true, but I'm still growing. And back then, I was I literally started to give up alyssia a little bit more every day. So much so to the point I lost like 22 pounds in like a month.
Wow.
Actually, was it a month? It might have been like 3 weeks. Hair falling out, like, and I was in high school.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stress, the kind of journey I was walking.
Yeah.
And it didn't get better when I got to college. I mean, I met new people who demanded different things, and I'm in a sense where I'm conforming.
Yeah.
I gotta be what these people need me to be. That's me. That's the enemy in my mind who is trying to tell me continue to think less of yourself. Continue to wear yourself down. And I didn't walk into people who wanted me to come out of it.
Yeah.
I walked into other broken people. And the two broken people just a big pile of shards.
Yeah.
Like, so no, it wasn't anybody's responsibility to save me. I don't necessarily blame anybody at this point because I'm aware and I know that I gotta be accountable for my own actions. I'm responsible for my own healing, you know, but that falling in love at a young age was the trigger to falling apart.
Yeah.
And losing that idea of my worth.
Yeah.
And once, you know, I got out of negative relationships, and maybe because anything that I did, I was not even there. I didn't love myself enough to get out.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get out. That was another thing. And I reference God. I talk about God in the Sunflower Project as daddy. But that was a daddy move. Man, can't you see? My daddy, Lee McLeod, would help
Next job.
Because that's what a dad does.
Yeah.
He wants to protect you. And I talk about my daddy, Lee McLeod, because he has loved me. It wasn't right for me to forget that I knew what love was.
Yeah.
My season is my season. I walk my walk. Yes, I thank God for it. It brought me to this point. But my daddy stopped it all.
Yeah.
Stop it all.
Yeah.
And I would feel kind of hurt, almost to the point like, now I feel bad, like nobody likes me. You know what I'm saying? That kind of a thing. But this was a God move that was for my well-being. Like he had to snatch me out because Alicia wasn't gonna get it. I wasn't going to. And I was about to say that's another thing about the enemy.
Yeah.
When we in our storm, he's telling us what he wants us to know. And it did not sound good to me to go to God and say, I'm fumbling, I'm messing up. I don't know what's going on, but this is what the real conversations we were talking about just a couple of questions ago. I was not there in college. So my choice to hide from God, act like nothing crazy was going on, or try to hide from God. Act like I wasn't making bad decisions, or I just pretended. I didn't want to go to him and tell him that. I felt like he might be ashamed of me.
Yeah.
Daddy God ashamed of me.
Yeah.
And that's not who he is.
Yeah.
So until I could understand who love was and where love was, like all the distractions, literally brought me through my growing season, which now I call, it's like the transition between the withering and the budding. My growing season where I'm getting this purging. I'm like having to go through to get through because that's what was necessary. I needed that rehab. And so the day that changed my life, falling in love. I don't regret it. I love that day.
Yeah.
But and now I look at it and I'm grateful for it. But I feel like I could move differently.
Yeah.
You know, in my adulthood. But it definitely changed my life.
Yeah.
I would say for the bad, but that's not true.
Yeah.
For the better. I got a story to tell that other people can feed off of and learn from. So
But I think you hit it right on the nail when you kind of mentioned that no one else is responsible for your own happiness. And you have to kind of find that within yourself before you realize, like, okay, I am mature enough to really understand and be able to handle what love is. And I think that kind of ties into your last chapter, being unleashed. And before I get to the next question, I do want to make sure, for the sake of time, that if anyone has questions, that you type them into the comments so that we can ask Leash some of the questions as well. But my last question before we get into this Q&A portion is, what does that mean to you to be unleashed? Like, You had your challenge going this week, having everyone explain what that meant from their perspective of what it means to be unleashed. But now, from being able to read the Sunflower Project, for those who are hearing your story, can you tie this all together for us of what that means to you of being unleashed, both from the sense of this healing journey and as well as like a brand and identity that you're stepping into?
So I want to take the story back to the internal battle, right? So making those mistakes, having people who fondle with my body, who, took advantage of me, and each time I'm kind of just running up to the plate, trying to make something right, trying to fix it. So I felt like I was taking on more pain than I really needed to. But again, me out here just kind of fumbling. There were emotions or just things that I developed about myself. I was ashamed. I did feel guilty. I did feel trapped. I felt small. I felt unworthy, right? And so one of my favorite poems in the book, it describes this cage. And most of the time we're going through, I feel, when we're going through and we get stuck, it's because we've stopped ourselves. Yeah. Right? And I describe being in this cage and being in this prison, right? And I'm almost waddling in like self-pity, like I can't do any better. I know it's horrendous, but you know what? Bump it. And I talk about the guard that was keeping me in this cage having my face. Yeah. And honestly, I felt like that. I realized what I was doing to me. Like why am I beating myself up? Why am I saying that I cannot be bigger? Why am I saying that I can't heal or that I'm not deserving of healing, of the freedom from this space, of having a new story to tell? Yeah. Why am I saying that? And I talk about how the bars are synonymous to or analogous to being that guilt, that shame, fear, doubt, uncertainty, all those things keeping us trapped, right? And then there's this other poem that talks about breaking out of that cage, dropping those shackles. Yeah. Man cannot tell me that I'm worthy. God gave me that before I took my first breath. He thinks I'm so great that he would send his son to die for me. He loves me. Yeah. You know how hard it is to accept that God loves us when we mess up and mess up for so long. And for me, it was a big deal. I mean, you put yourself right in the middle of your mess or whatever your pains are, you're going to think of it as a big deal to me. It was a big deal to me. It was a big deal to me that I had allowed some of the things that I had allowed. I had endured some of the things I had endured. And I felt unlovable. And so the unLYSHing is talking about breaking out of that cage. Is walking in worthiness, because I know I don't have to be here. This is not the home that God built for me. Yeah. This is not what He asked me to be. This is not where He asked me to be. I'm doing this to me. So what I need to do is bite off some forgiveness, turn these locks, get my behind out of here. Because on the other side, when I escape from this cage, when I break through, cut through this tunnel, when I come up into the sunlight, there is everything that God wants me to have. Yeah. Everything that God wants me to have. And the other beautiful part about that, He was right there. As long as I was stuck, He never moved. Yeah. He never left me. And on the journey out, He was with me. Helping me climb. Yeah. Helping me push. Teaching me that I'm lovable. Teaching me that I'm worthy. Teaching me who He said that I am. When we talk about the unLYSHing, we're talking about reclaiming. Yes, we've all made mistakes. Yes, we've all got skeletons in the closet. We've all got things that we're not comfortable with or proud of. We still deal with some stuff right now. But that doesn't mean that you can't be unleashed. Yeah. Being unleashed is claiming the worthiness. It's committing to healing. It is knowing that you are loved. That you are lovable. Yeah. And it's giving that love to yourself. Yeah. And it's freedom. no chain,
Yeah.
no shackles,
Yeah.
nothing holding me,
Mm-hmm.
because God loves me.
Yeah.
I could do anything. So I'm gonna call her my mentor, even though she's gone to heaven at this point. But Maya Angelou did this interview with Oprah Winfrey, and she talked about, or Oprah had asked her, where does Maya Angelou go whenever she needs comfort?
Mm-hmm.
And she talked about doing the study of the Unity Church and just to get some understanding. She goes into one of the pieces of literature, and the first thing that she reads is, God loves me.
Mm-hmm.
She just said it over and over again. And in this interview, she gets emotional.
Yeah.
Because she talks about, we talk about God.
Yeah.
He loves me, I can do anything. I can forgive myself. That seemed impossible.
Yeah.
But I can. I can forgive the people who hurt me. Because they did hurt me. Even if they didn't mean to, they did hurt me. I can forgive them. And then on the other side of that, there is so much life left to live. And I can have the goodie in that. I can walk in that because I'm worthy of that because God told me. He said it. And no man can take that from me. I dare not give it to another. I dare not try to give it to another.
Yeah.
The unLYSHing is walking in everything that God said is mine.
Yeah.
Is loving alyssia.
Yeah.
And it is not turning back. It's walking in purpose, like I belong here.
Yeah.
Because that's what God said for me. That's what He put aside for me. This is mine.
Yeah.
I feel good about that now. And I say that even in humility, because when the pandemic started, I was just kind of lost. I was fumbling. I said before, every season has led to this. There have been other times God has given me a blessing. I feel like I did what I needed to do with it. Yes, but in my heart, I could have did more. I could have. Right now, I know who I am.
Yeah.
I know who He called me to be. And I'm showing up every day.
Yeah.
The unLYSHing is that kind of power. To love myself, know my God loves me, to love Him back, and to walk in my purpose.
Yeah.
With nothing holding me.
Yeah.
That's what that is to me.
Yeah.
That's my baby. That's my baby. That's my baby.
I love how like all of them kind of tie together though, because you can't truly be free if you aren't first of all aware and then having that commitment to want to heal. Like I think that's such a huge piece. It's like you could have walked through this journey and be like, okay, I know that something's wrong. I know that I feel off, and just accepted that as what your life could be. But like you said, that's not what God ever destined for you. And so I just like commend you yet again for just continuing to not only walk in faith, but to just trust and believe and love and find a way to feel all that for yourself as well. I think again, like all of us are kind of going through something right now, and I think just taking those pieces of what it means to be unleashed and applying it to our own lives and our own journeys, I think we would all walk around a little bit stronger.
A little bit stronger.
Thank you. So let's check out some of these questions. I hope that y'all were actually posting questions.
Let's see.
I'm not seeing any. Okay, I have a question for you. So the piece on page 106, it talks about the importance of not questioning God even through the roughest times. Can you elaborate on that topic? Talk about why it is important to trust Him at all times.
Ooh. Okay, do I have time to read it? Where we at?
We are at,
don't have to do it.
it's 5:46.
Alright, we only had one question? So, poem says, and it reads, this is what we do when our faith is weak. We don't move, we don't pray, we don't try. Oh, but we cry. And inside we boil, with our questions, with our doubts, without our hope. This is where the enemy wants us, and question about the existence of the God we claim is real. I was there, with the people of faith barely planted. I was there as a result of digression. I was there with the people who feel pain, experience loss, and then stop, as if there is nothing left in which to believe. we were wrong. To answer that question, why is it important to hold on to faith in God even whenever it's dark? On a personal side, it was when it was dark that I feel like I truly found God. My family raised me in the church. I knew who God was. I never not believed in him. But to have real relationship, that sparked in my broken season. That sparked when I was down on my luck. And a believer is called to believe. That's exactly what we do. That's exactly what we do. We can't avoid hard times. So I guess the question would be, if every time something got hard and we gave up our reason for existing, because that's how I see God, that's how I see faith. Everything that I do is as a result of what I believe, how I move, how I think, how I carry myself, how I love people, how I approach attacks. It's a result of my faith. We have a blueprint for how to move that comes from God. So I cannot give up my blueprint. I cannot give up my reason for existing because I'm hurting. There's something in the blueprint for what to do when you're hurting. Even when you can't pray for yourself. We lean on the church. There is something spelled out for every emotion, every pain, every thought that we might have, any advice that we need. There is something in the blueprint. He's already made provision because he already knew it was going to be dark times. That's the kind of God we got. That's the kind of God that loves us. He loved us so much that he would give us that. I already knew. I knew you was going to trip. I knew you was going to feel a little weak. All right. Turn to this. It's our responsibility to hold on to him, to let him get the glory out of our pain. Because that's on the other side of it. That God may be taking us through to use us in our lives for his glory. Hence the Sunflower Project. If I would have stopped in the wilderness, there would be no unLYSHing. And I would have missed it. Now I can see, I look back and I know God was with me the whole time. I can even think of certain instances where it was a God move, like something that's happening that was supernatural. If I would have quit, gave up on my faith because I was down, I wouldn't have got it. I wouldn't have got the goodie. So yeah, I would say that was a thorough answer.
Okay, let's see if we're good on time. Okay, cool. I have another question for you. As a school counselor, I try my best to read and learn and use what I learned to help the kids entrusted to my care. Which truths would the author suggest I focus on for high school age kids? That's a good question. Sis is an educator as well, if y'all didn't know.
Okay, because we on the parallel right now being said. Definitely, I would say the idea of worthiness. I spoke at it was called Teammates, at an event like that. And it was actually with middle school kids, but the message is the same. They were exposed to different stimuli to say, there's a such thing as drunk driving, there's a such thing as sexual assault, there's a such thing as STDs, and then there's a such thing as going to prison at 16 because you made a stupid choice or a choice that was not in your best interest, right? So I was asked by one of my mentors to come and speak to these students after they had seen all these things that could happen if they were not careful with their decision making and intentional with their decision making. And I prayed. I was like, bro, what do I say? I'm seeing all this stuff. I'm getting emotional. I'm like, okay, let me get focused. Like, what in the world do I need to tell the children? Yeah. And as I stood up to speak, I felt the Holy Spirit telling me, you tell them that they're worthy. You're worth too much. You gotta believe in it. You're worth more than to get. You should think that you're worth too much to get in a car drunk and drive. You should value your life that much more. Yeah. You should value yourself enough. And this speaks to my story. than to think that your temple is meant to be rented by man after man. That's not what you're built for. And I know a lot of, even with some of my young girls, I have to talk to them about intimacy.
Yeah.
You should believe that you're worth more than to lay with someone and contract something. You worth more than that. You gotta believe that for yourself first. High schoolers, they getting ready. I mean, some seniors getting ready to go to college, and that's just a tender age. We just want to be seen. We want to be, you know,
in these streets.
We want to be out here in the streets, right? I would want the girls to know. I would want the boys to know. You're worthy. You need to be moving like you're worthy. You need to be moving like you're called to something, because you are.
Yeah.
You are. And when you have an idea of your value, that should change the way you move.
Yeah.
That should change the way you move. That should make some friends have to, check some of their behaviors because you don't move that way.
Yeah.
That should make some other people, that should make you decide, like, I gotta let this habit go.
Yeah.
It's all right. I give myself some grace. That I got things I need to work on. Cool. But I gotta work on them.
Yeah.
Because I'm worth more. That's the message that I got for high schoolers, anybody.
Everybody. That applies to everybody.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's the worth journey. We gotta know that. And we gotta move accordingly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I know that wasn't my question, but thank you. I think that was definitely helpful. But quickly, for the sake of time, we're going to take a 3-minute intermission so Instagram doesn't kick us off and Facebook doesn't kick us off. And we will join back in 3 minutes. Please just click back on and we'll wrap up with the challenge winners and some final notes from Leash. So thank you all. We will be right back.
Okay.
And we are back. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. Instagram be tripping, trying to kick us off the live.
We need that footage.
We need the footage. But we're back, and we did have another question. So, how the second half is going to go, we're going to answer one more question from the audience, and then we have the Unleash Challenge. If you aren't familiar, all week Leash has been challenging her followers to share their unleashing story and what that means to them. So someone is going to win a sunflower box and a whole bunch of goodies inside of it. So let's just get to this question. Okay, so one of the questions we had before intermission was, while you're writing your poetry, are you listening to music? Are you watching TV? Whatever the case may be. If so, what music inspired your favorite poem? And if not, what keeps you from writing while maybe there's other kind of things going on? Rather it be some people have to write with music, some people have to write watching TV, whatever the case may be. I guess first kind of share some of that process. And then two, if that's something that just you're not a fan of, if so, why? Just
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Definitely listen to music whenever I'm trying to develop something dope. But I get inspiration from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes out of nowhere sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I might just try to give whatever description came up right then, write it down, and then I keep going. And then whenever I'm really ready to sit with my thoughts, I just turn on really classical music, just something that's or study music, something that's no words. It's just something calm.
Yeah.
Now my mood hits do get me where I want to write sometimes.
Yeah.
But when it's time for me to start writing, it's really probably just it really is just something that I could just be with my own thoughts.
Yeah.
But I got a whole playlist for hey, this is inspiring. Or this is just getting me to my writer mood. And one of my favorite songs is called Same Room by let me not get a lot. What's this man's name? What is his name? Somebody want to know my playlist?
Yeah, I'm you might as well just share your playlist after this.
Share the playlist. Get you right. But no, it's called Same Room by JP Sachs. I love DVSN. I love Snow Allegra.
It's a good R&B.
I guess shortest name is Nao, but I like her too. Billie Eilish, and Janae, Magic Hour. I play that on repeat. But it just gets me like to where I'm ready to face my thoughts.
Yeah.
And then I go into when it's time to write, it's just me and my thoughts.
Yeah. I definitely have a playlist for like every. Yeah, no, we're gonna make sure you share your playlist on your story. Everyone go to Alyshia's story after this. She's gonna share the playlist so we all can get in that creative spirit and that mood. But I mean, let's get to the challenge. Let's see who these winners are. I hope you're watching.
On the live. Thank you for your participation too. All right, I'm picking 2. The first winner is the first participant, Jared Sharp. Go partner. And the next. My big cousin, Amelia Ussery. You got it, sis. Yay. So what I need from you all, and I know they on the live. I know they are. But t-shirt sizes and everything else is already ready and packaged for you. So
I mean,
congratulations.
The mug here, you can show the people the mug.
This is the mug that Amelia would get. Jared will get something a little more masculine. But hello. Who don't want this in their house?
I need one.
In their cabinet. I mean, come on. That's why I got one for myself. Because I couldn't help it.
No, but that's awesome. I really did enjoy watching the Sunflower Challenge and hearing everyone's own personal stories. It was amazing. I mean, the participation was awesome. You have so much support, and I guess like just to kind of wrap things up, what's next for the Sunflower Project? What's next for Unleash, both in your own personal healing journey, but also again through this brand that you've now created?
Well, first thing, as the Sunflower Project, the book is out. Yes, there are a couple more things that I want to do with this work though. Mm-hmm. So I'm in the lab with my uncle. We're working on a little project, something for Apple Music. Also want to put out an ebook for this book too, and then really and truly I want to get into the teaching part, the building part. Like, how do we get from the budding to the unleashing? I sat with it, with the Sunflower Project, read it over and over again. I mean, I worked on it for so long, but I read it again like once it was like in my hands, and I just said, okay, I'm seeing a season that could be, defined right here. And that needs to be communicated. Yeah. That needs to be. So how do we get to that unleashing? I want to start trying to help people answer that question. But that will come with me taking, my time to kind of go through what it is God's taking me through right now. I think that's another good thing to talk about with the Sunflower Project. Each one of these seasons, as I came out of the season, is when I was able to write about it. When I was in it, I was on the battlefield working. So right now, I'm just kind of in my God space, and I'm trying to learn. I'm realizing I didn't have a lot of the answers I thought I had about certain stuff. God is changing my perspective. So I'm going through that, and I'm noting, certain questions that I have, and just things on my journey. And another gift will be produced out of that, I know. But for the Sunflower Project, maybe keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled. There ain't no way. Yeah. Ain't no way yet. I do want to thank the people who did the challenge. Again, that was just super liberating for me to see somebody else bring my baby to life, to kind of nurture it as their own. To see the empowerment that they describe for themselves, moving. I had chills. I brought the tears so many times, just thanking God for the vision that He gave to me. I could see it. It's happening. And I want to thank everybody that participated. I have all the videos. I watched them. So the videos, the posts, I screenshot them. I'm keeping them because they continue to feed me. I want to thank my family, of course. You already know. Jamie. My mentor who helped me to publish the book. My big sis Chelsea, who helps me with everything. My godmom, Auntie Cheryl. My illustrator, my right hand, my sis. And I really just told her, "They'll do you." Read the book, be moved by the book, feel something, and then you let your God gift do what it does. Darren Dennis, my sister from my hometown. I mean, I could really call out so many people, but we'll be on here like so many people pouring into me, like literally, like telling me, step up, you got this, walking in this with you, like my partner who one of the ones who won the challenge, my cousin who won the challenge. I mean, just so many people continuously just pouring light into me, and I'm just. I wanted to say that about, you know, people. And my ninth grade teacher, my ninth grade literature teacher, edited the book. It was my first time editing. And then my good friend, Raven Simone Washington in Dallas. Do you want me to run it? You want me to do it for oh, yes, can you just go over it? I mean, but it just got putting people in your life, the path that you didn't, I mean, I ain't asked. Yeah. You just know it needed to be done though. Like, I needed one more come through because I tweeted what. Just so, everybody who had a hand in this, I know who you are, and I'm grateful for you. You had a hand in my development. You had a hand in, you know, me coming out of the soul and into the. I know who you are. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for this. This is our baby. We came out of this. We made this, and it's beautiful. So thank you. Thank you to everybody who joined on the live. I'm just so humble, so grateful that #1 Amazon release status because of y'all. Because of y'all. And that's just down there. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. Well, we're also excited to see what comes next. Definitely make sure everyone's staying in tune. Follow Leash if you're not following her right now to make sure that you are staying up to date. But before we get off live, what can the people at home, what can our audience do to help support you through your journey? Oh, big one. Thank you. Gotcha, sis, because it's a business. So we got that #1 bestseller status. Again, that was because of you. We need you still. We want to be bestsellers. So to go back to Amazon and leave a review, mandatory. We gotta have it. Gotta have it. Thankful for, I think it's 9 people up to at this point who have left a review on Amazon. But the Sunflower Project is also on Goodreads. You can leave a review there. If you texted me your review, you already got it. Just go, copy paste, boom. But that's what helps to get the book to bestseller status. And that's the next thing that we want to tackle. So go, if you got the book, I hope you feel inspired to open the book, read the book. If you read the book, I hope you feel inspired to go comment about the book. Yeah. And then tell somebody else about the book. I mean, aside from, you know, the accolades, this is a gift. This is a gift. And it has spoken healing to a lot of people. God through this has spoken healing to a lot of people. So don't keep it to yourself. Tell somebody. Yeah. So definitely go leave a review. Definitely go share either a post or just text your friend and tell them, hey, here's the link to this amazing book. Go get this book. And definitely stay tuned for more. Again, Alysha, my friend, my sister, I am so proud of you. I'm sure everyone is so proud of you. We are so excited to see what comes next through all of this. I'm grateful. Thank you for bringing me along. Thank you for being here again. But I have to give my friends special hype because y'all be listening to me when I cry. I mean, I cry. Thank y'all. Y'all know who you are. Again, I'm just grateful, humble. It's been a wonderful journey so far. The best is yet to come. So. Definitely. Well, everyone, Alysha McLeod. Can we get some hand claps? Since, you know, obviously we're not in the audience. But just we have no add your hand claps to the chat. But yeah, Alysha McLeod.